Hi guys. I got fooled again by AI. Sorry about that. So I just want to set the record straight. Um, yeah, you can heal heart disease. You can heal anything. And it happened to me and is happening to me. I am restoring. I'm so happy because why would my body die when my consciousness is so connected to my star cluster family? So to me, it made no sense. I just freaking die now. I've been through too much. So I just kept one foot in front of the other, really, and did things as my own senses told me to do. Like things that don't make sense to anyone else. Trust me, I know. Because I was born here too. I'm not a moron. And a lot of things I've said and say sound crazy to people that are unable to crack codes or draw from their own emotional intelligence to do with your senses, at least. The word proactive is a terrible word. I learned it in about 1981, 1980, when I was taking human resource management. That was a word that was introduced. I'd never heard it before. I knew it. And I said, "That's a new word," to the instructor. And he said, "Yes, yes." And that's what they do, guys. The media will set up a new word you've never heard before in your life. And you go, "Well, what the hell does that word mean?" And I gotta tell you the truth. Most students ignore their doubt and just go along with the word. They just, okay, well, there's a word. And then they start using it. And then they start doing it. It's like, but it's controlled proactive. You see what I mean? Where the problem is? If the media are inventing the new words, which they are every freaking day, I have to go, well, what the hell does that mean? I never heard it before. Kufofi? What was that? Right? That is how they do it. That is how they twist the word, is they will put the word out there and then twist the meaning so that your brain, your neuro-linguistic amazing brain will be neuro-linguistically programmed to be proactive for the words they want you proactive at. For example, if there may be a fire coming, hey, you never know, scary stuff out there. And you saw the smoke. You saw it. I didn't see any fire, but you saw the smoke. And you heard the word. and you put one and one together, and you got AI intelligence. You added up wrong. You didn't use your own senses to see, smell, taste, touch, and feel the fire. But you moved anyway. You moved, and chaos ensued, and all sorts of crap happened. So people are being proactively moved around, out of fear. You see, we do manifest anything we want out of nothing. It's true. Jesus talked about it when he was wandering the earth. He was real, and the word is still out there, right? His word. But it has been so freaking twisted. You think Jesus wants you to follow him, and you don't know him. You've never met him. You haven't seen his eyes. You haven't touched his clothes. It's a hopium type of thing. Hopium, opium. I love that. I love words. I am a phononican. I am a poet. And I love poetry. And I was sick of being made to feel stupid with AI. Because what it's doing right now, frustrating everybody, is, changing words with Grammarly or whatever, I don't know, but I'll type in a word and go on, and then suddenly that word will get twisted to a big fat spelling mistake. And it makes me look stupid, especially when I'm saying I'm an expert on the word. It just totally always makes me look stupid. AI does. Goes out of its way to make me look stupid, believe you me. But I'm not. I'm emotionally me inside. And so are you. And I just wanted to share with you a thought I had a little while ago that really, I'm so excited because I'm healing for one, and I'm stretching out my back, and I'm practicing walking, and it's just amazing over here at my place. I'm in hospice, I've been in hospice, my own making of hospice, since, I don't know, 4 years. So I just don't want that on. I decided tonight that light was really upsetting me. It was glaring at me all the time. And I wasn't taking care of my own senses, that I didn't want that lead lighting glaring at me all the time. So I went out, I don't have any candles. I have just these little tea lights, but I don't have any candles. I thought, well, you never know. You just don't know. Imagine there's candles right there on the kitchen table for you. And I began to proactively imagine there's candles on my kitchen table so that I can turn my lead light off, and it will be a big enough candle for me to actually see something. And guess what? I went out into my kitchen. I walked without my walker. And right on top of Anthony's letter, believe it or not, I still have Anthony's letter to me sitting on my table too. But right on top of that were two bigger white candles. Now, keep in mind, I never lie, and I'm going to tell you that it was just now that I remembered I had gone to Dollarama about when was that, guys? I did a post about it. I bought $130 worth of junk. I didn't know why. I had no idea. I was trusting my feeling sense, the one that guides me, that guy, my son. And I was trusting my feeling of my son being around. I always do since he crossed over. I trust. Every day I wake up and I am talking to my son, and I know it. So there I was at Dollarama, trusting my son that I should go ahead and buy up the store. Why are you worried about money? He said. What the hell's money? I said, well, what if I don't have enough for the month, or I can't buy food or rent? And he laughed at me. Fear, fear. And he was right. So I went ahead and I bought that, I don't know, it was about $139 worth of items. Took it up to the cashier, who was 100% French, and I'm 100% English. But this lady was so fast. She's put it all through. I didn't have time to think. And I was just in awe watching this French woman not talk to me at all, but quickly process my items. And I came out with a lot of junk. And guess what I bought without thinking? 2 bigger candles. And they were the last 2 things I hadn't put away yet. No, I didn't need to put them away. Anyway, let me go on, because that's not the point of this video. I'm so excited. Oh my God. I'm joy. I am laughter. I'm getting my voice back. I am getting my voice back. I'm practicing right now. Just as I practiced getting rid of all of the disease in me. How did I practice getting rid of the disease? I spit it out. Yeah, I did the opposite to what Google said to do, which is don't cough it up. You don't want to start any heart attacks. Fear, right? So, don't spit it up, they said. I thought, well, I'm going to do the opposite. I spit it all up. And I have spent the last, I don't even know, since I got that message, spitting up, coughing up. So for 2 years since I got heart failure diagnosis from the doctor, who is a hypnotist and very proactive. He'll let me know when I'm dying. Yes, he'll give me 6 months. And that's what he gave me. So you're walking around proactively imagining the death, right? Isn't that what I've been doing, guys? Isn't that silly? So I make mistakes. I am not a mistake, but I got a small brain, and I do know everything. I know everything, and so do you. You know it all in your own beautiful, intelligent, gifted self, Christ self. You are a Christ flame as much as I am. I, I, I have no doubt about that. Doubt, by the way, belongs on the left brain. It's AI. It's about believing in yourself and your own human senses on what to do next, right? So, I don't do anything anyone tells me to do unless I picked it up myself and wanted to. You gotta wanna, and it's gotta be good for you. Like, I don't like any of the alternative AI stuff anyway. I like cannabis oil. I don't really, well, I couldn't smoke it because of all of this, right? But the oil and the ointment has been around for centuries. And I intuitively knew that because I looked at it in my mind's eye, what cannabis really is, and I can see it is a plant of the earth. And the plants of the earth are of Christ. They're alive, and they're conscious, and they're part of us. So I started the cannabis in 2016 after I was visited by beings of light and my deceased son in my bedroom on September 10th, 2016. If you look up John Denver's story, which I just found, things are just coming my way to validate me, guys. I am being validated right now. And things are coming to me where I notice them quickly. And I noticed the video about John Denver. First, I noticed his song, Some Days Are Diamonds and Some Days Are Stone. And it was really hitting me hard, that song. I put it on my playlist. And then that movie showed up, the John Denver movie. No, Oh God showed up first. Oh God. And I wanted a comedy. I wasn't really consciously. I just sometimes watch videos for my sake. But that's part of my unconsciousness, where I did things without realizing. And I watched Oh God, and I saw that John Denver and I had very similar experiences. And so if you go, now they have twisted his word from Hollywood, don't get me wrong. They've twisted the whole thing. I could see it. I feel it, and I know where they twist the words now. And they made it about law and Moses again. But if you go through and you erase all of the law, all of the 10 Commandment crap, That is a proactive thing for disaster, is the Ten Commandments, because what it did was it gave everybody ideas. I didn't know that we could kill our wives or steal neighbors, or I didn't know we could cheat, lie, or commit. Really? We can do that? We didn't know until the word was proactively put in front of us. And then in context, it was described to the meaning of the words. Thou shalt not kill. That means don't kill anybody. And then they say it over and over and over again. How many times are they telling us what not to do? How many, guys? So this is proactive danger, when you are proactive for somebody else's word and you didn't see, sense, feel, touch, taste, nothing. You just believed in the word. So with believing in your own self and coming home, guys, come back home to your own consciousness, which is what I'm all about in remember, kinder garden, because that's what I'm inventing. Everything is going to be freaking simple, so that I don't invent new words for people. I don't want to control anybody. I'm not forming any cults here. I didn't even ask for a subscriber. I just started walking. I just started believing in myself. I just started talking. And as I talked out my own story on YouTube, because it was too much information to write out, if you know what I mean. So I talked it out. And as I talked out every word, I was getting out, I was spitting out, if you will, the bad words, the words that were catching me. And I was aware of them. I became aware of the words that were harming me. So this is what I want for everybody, is to be proactive for themselves. Now, what happened was, I was sitting here dreaming about my son's biological father. Because, guys, if I'm going to look at my history, I was 16 when I met him, and he was 24. And it was a love at first feeling. I mean, sight, hearing his voice, watching him cook that turkey on Thanksgiving, while his partner, a woman named Roberta, was off getting drunk somewhere in the neighborhood. He was left to take care of their baby, because they had a baby. And he was left to take care of the baby while we came over. The guy Stan, it was his name, who I was living with at the time, was a homosexual. And he offered me a bedroom in Vancouver. And we didn't have sex. We had sex once. It's a long story. I ended up, it's too long right now. So anyway, I was with Stan because he wanted to go to Arthur Nolan Fisher's house for Thanksgiving. And I thought, well, that's nice. I'd like to go too. And I was invited. So it was Stan who introduced us. And when I walked into that bungalow on Mitchell Island in Vancouver, British Columbia, it was love. It was soulmate stuff. It was Trevor's biological father. And to me, he looked like Elvis Presley. And his music was Elvis Presley. And he took me to honky tonks in Vancouver, in downtown Vancouver, in the old honky tonk hotels. And I remember dancing with my man and just feeling like I had gone to heaven and died. Well, I had a terrible life before that, and this was a fleeting moment of my existence here, because we were really only together 2 years on and off because of interference by his taking the word of his brother. His brother became a homosexual, and his brother tarnished Arthur. And, you know, once you get tarnished like that, you may be emotionally triggered because they touched you, right? You may be emotionally triggered to like that kind of thing. And it becomes a fantasy, right? And then you see it on images and TV and links and whatnot, and you hear about it everywhere. It's a new concept, but you're in it now, manifesting homosexuality. And that is what Arthur did. And big mistake. But we make mistakes. But as my man, Arthur Nolan Fisher, says, yes, we make mistakes, but there are no mistakes. So you go along with the mistake. You become fluid around the mistake and accept it. And so that's how I get beyond doubt. And the fun thing is, you're allowed to think any way you want, aren't you? Like, isn't that true? Am I lying? No. You are allowed, right, to think any way you want. And in my kinder garden that I am creating for my new world, it's going to be with me, guys. I'm not going to die of heart failure. Just no. I am restoring myself by spitting out anything I cough up. I do not keep in my body. I'm dehydrating my body, if you will. And I'm replenishing it with healthy, wholesome, homemade food only. I will not eat processed. I don't know who made it. I don't know what's in it. I can't eat it. So I have to, for the most part, there are a couple of things I have to put in. But no, to me, the big picture is I am getting my health restored by replacing the cancer food with my food that I really, really like. And I really, really love pierogies. I love everything I eat. And I've put out here to show you the meals that I make. Under the playlist, Responsible for Your Mind and Body, you will find more healthy eating videos of mine. If you want to go and look, I don't want to, make you do anything. But if you want, you can go and look at these ideas, but just stay for a second, right? Don't sit and dwell in my way. I want you to begin to use your own human senses, because in your last life, you may have had an experience with onions. My brother hated onions. That you just can't stand onions now. Well, trust that, okay? Just trust it. Or me, peas. Oh, I can't stand peas, really. Blech. Never could eat a pea. Well, now I know why. I know my history. I know my past lives. And I know all about mushy peas. Yuck, yuck, yuck. You don't want to get served mushy peas, when you're in prison waiting to get beheaded and such. So be guided, whether you're rich or whether you're poor. Be guided by whatever you feel for yourself. And everything will fall into divine light. And in my world, it is as easy as 1, 2, 3. I pay attention to codes I get from the other side. There is a numerical system starting with 4 ones, right? Have any of you seen the 4111 symbol? Well, it goes to 9. Our number system goes from 1 to 9. There are no zeros. Once you put a 0 into our consciousness, we begin to look for zeros. And the more zeros we see, the more zeros we get, in my humble opinion, because first, came zero people and hero people, and then came their version of numerology, and they're inventing all sorts of zeros to go with our number system. And then imperial came into being metric. Oh my God, we're surrounded by zeros. And soon, people are thinking the word zero all the freaking time. And they may be unconsciously or even consciously manifesting zero. And it sounds too easy, but it is very easy. Emotional intelligence can be restored. Anyone who can see it for themselves through me and then run with it. Go your way. You may hate some other food. I don't. You know what? Go with your senses if you don't like my videos or my food. And trust your own senses until you feel that you are natural again, that you are organic, right? That's how I want to be. I want to be organic within myself. In order to be organic within myself, this is what I have to feed myself. And that's what I feed myself physically. It's what I feed myself emotionally. And it's what I feed myself unconsciously now. It's happening where my own higher self takes over when I forget, because I have a very tiny brain here on Earth. Let's not forget, this brain of ours is very small compared to our huge spirit. Our spirit is all-knowing. It is of Christ. And if I am a flame of Christ, then I am Christ. Thank you very much. $39 times 2 is 78. The year Trevor was born.
So I face the final curtain, my friend. I'll say it clear.
I reserve the
state
right
my case, of which I'm certain.
to use this music
I've lived a life that's full
to illustrate my story.
each and every byway, oh, and more.
His very first song,
Much more than this,
saying goodbye. 1977.
I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through.
God bless all of us.
Without exemption.